I'm going to keep this video simple, just like the tool that you see here inside of Puzzle Publishers called dot to dot crazy is simple and easy to create dot to dot puzzles. And just like it's easy to go over to Creative Fabrica and find simple images like these digital stamps that come in PNG format that you can use together to create books, simple dot to dot books, like the types of books that you'll discover when you do a search over at Amazon for dot to dot books for kids ages 3 to 5. Focus in on these results, and I want you to pay attention to how simplistic these books are because they're made for ages kids 3 to 5. We're going to stop here. The first book is an independently published book. This is a KDP book, like the books that we create. And when you take a look inside this book, you will see that this is very simple as far as the design and then the dots or the number of dots. We're focused in on keeping it simple, keeping it easy for the kids that are going to be doing these puzzles and keeping the dots to a minimum. Of course, this is a different type of image, but this is simple to find as well. Again, back over at Creative Fabrica, here are some coloring pages, and you can see these coloring pages come with the background like you see in this book. So then we can take those images inside of dot to dot crazy and make those simply as well. Before we dive into the tool to see how simple or easy that is, let's take a look at the next book. This is a KDP book. This is the old Create Space, but this is still published the same way that we publish books using Amazon KDP. There is no look inside feature on this book, but you can see the images here. If you take a look at the cover, they have specifically narrowed this down to 1 to 10 dot to dot, meaning there's only ever 10 dots in any of the puzzles. Like you can see here on the back cover, there's only 10 dots for each image. Scroll down and take a look at the reviews, and you're going to see here nice large pictures trace 1 to 10. This is perfect. If you're looking for large pictures for dot to dot tracing, this is it. Nice large dinosaurs, easy to follow numbers 1 to 10. The next review that caught my eye that really drives home how and why to keep this simple when we're making this type of book, I love that it was really just 1 to 10 all the way through to the end. It didn't suddenly start going up to 25. My two kiddies were so proud they could do it alone by the end of the book. They took a simple concept of dot to dot using dinosaurs and keeping it narrowed down to 1 to 10 dots and only a 1 to 10 dot book and dinosaurs. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is inside of Puzzle Publishers. There's a link in the description. You can check this out. There are other softwares inside of Puzzle Publishers, but the main focus here inside of Puzzle Publishers is going to be dot to dot crazy. Simply click Access Now once you get your membership and you log in. And then once you're inside of dot to dot crazy, it is very simple. You simply just load your image. You select the image that you downloaded from Creative Fabrica. In this case, we're using the whale, the digital stamp whale. And you can see here, once you have it loaded, you can change the transparency. You can go all the way up to 100%, or if you want it to be a little faded. And there are reasons for that, and there's training here inside of Puzzle Publishers that will describe using the outline image and the inner image and how you can utilize that transparency slider to make different things. For example, if you wanted to leave a little bit of the image around there to make a trace image, but we're simply going to focus on the dot to dots. In this case, the number of dots is 20. The slider allows you to create more dots or less dots. Let's go ahead and take a look at 10 dots and go ahead and create the dots. You can see how simple this tool is now. If we were making a book like the one we saw with 10 dots, we would simply leave the 10 dots right there, and then we would just simply bring it back. As you can see, or as you saw in the original image, the image here that I've taken over into Google Docs or Google Slides to actually create my book, you can see I've used 1 to 10 dots just to make the image or the trace part of the image around the tail or the dot to dot part of the image around the tail. And I simply did that by going ahead and clicking one button to create the dots and then simply dragging the dots to where I want them. And inside of this tool, you can choose exactly where you want your dots to start. So the dot or the 1 would start here at the top, and you can see that 10 is covered up. You can also drag the number as well as the dot itself to position it exactly where you want. And then all you need to do is simply continue positioning the numbers around the tail exactly where you want them. And that's all there is to it. And then you can simply get rid of the lines. You'll see the lines are gone. Then you can simply click download the PNG. It downloads the PNG. You open it, and you have your image, your dot to dot image now with a transparent background in .png format. Again, you simply come to Google Docs, insert image, and then you have your image inside of Google Docs to create your dot to dot and coloring book. Easy to find images over at Creative Fabrica. Simple enough to do the research and really focus in on a simple book. A simple 1 to 10 dot to dot, in this case focused on dinosaurs. You pick, for example, go with whales or sea creatures and keep them all 1 to 10. And you're well on your way to creating a book that's going to be able to get 5 stars and 5 stars with multiple ratings. As you can see here on this book, 248 ratings. Again, with that easy tool called Dot to Dot Crazy over at Puzzle Publishers, link in the description. Also a link in the description for Creative Fabrica to check out those images and start creating your own dot to dot books. And if you'd like to see some more activity book ideas, go ahead and click and watch the video you see on the screen right now. Look forward to seeing you in that video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.